job is, and, that things may happen. But we all try to just make sure we do our 111, like handling what we got as for our task at hand. What is your job? What are you supposed to do in this play? And boom, everybody does their play. Everybody does their 111. Good things happen.
Was there ever a play, a game, a moment that really kind of, as you were learning that philosophy, that it kind of went, you got it, like a light bulb moment, like?
I think Oklahoma State game, just because it was a real emotional game, it was a big game. I think it was a really good game because when you both go back and look on film, yeah, there were mistakes, but a lot of people, everybody was doing that 111. Games we had shutouts, everybody was doing their 111. Every game we tried to do our 111. Every game, everybody's gonna play a perfect game, but we want more than good, more than bad.
For this team, I know you guys came up short of winning the Big 12 championship, but after the season it had been in 2016, how important was last year to kind of get to that Big 12 championship game and kind of get things back on track? Have 11 wins last year for this program.
It was real important. Sadly, we came up a little short, like you said, but we took that to heart, and we carried that over this spring, and we carried that over in the summer workouts. I can never forget it. It was heartbreaking. All the hard work we put in. Unfortunately, we came up short, but we haven't forgotten about everything. But we're just grinding here every single day in the heat, and we're continuing to get better. And but we're worried about this season. We're worried about Southern that's coming up right now. Our season opener, that was last year.
So they're not, obviously, Gary's not going to tell us that Sean's going to be starting quarterback or whatever. But he is the only guy that's got to start, or the guys that you've got back. What have you seen in Sean, watching from the other side and going against him in practice, and how he's kind of handled himself since he got that first start last year to now?
Sean is getting like a lot better since he's first got here. Of course, he looked really good in the spring, in practices and running out here every day, and just seeing him when we get ready to do walkthroughs tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be flawless. He's a great leader. He's young, but he's a great leader. I think he'll lead the offense into a great season.
How much did you get out of starting 14 games last year in your first year as a starter?
It was just
being this early.
Yeah, it was a blessing. I just trying to do my 111 basically, and everybody else doing their 111. So I hope it's just gonna be another great year for us.
So how different is it for you individually, though, having had that experience already?
It's a great experience. I didn't expect it, but I took it and I ran with it, and I try to do my best as I can, and I'll continue to try to do the best I can.
All right, appreciate it.
No problem.
I want to ask you about Coach Fitch real quick, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
What's your thoughts on playing for Coach Fitch, and how is he just learning from and just as a person?
He's a great mentor. He's a great father figure, role model, everything. Coach Fitch is a real great coach. Like, he really loves his players and the guys that he's coaching every single day. He puts in a lot of effort in making sure that everything that we don't know or what might mess us up in the game, he'll go over and make sure that we're never caught slipping in the game. He goes beyond measures and makes sure that we're good. And I could thank him enough for all he's done for me and for our team and my teammates, of course, my D-line and D-tackle. He's just a great guy.
Last year, you guys led the conference in, I can't even name how many categories. I know rush defense was one of them. How much pride do you take as a defensive lineman when you see that stat and you guys lead a conference in rush defense?
It's a real honor just knowing all that hard work we put in is putting in for something. But, that's last year. This year we're working to get something 2 times better than that. We still want to be the best, and I feel like we're going in that direction.
Do you feel like sometimes you might be underrated a little bit, since a lot of guys will start double teaming you now, and your stats may not be as high as some of the other guys, but you're plugging those gaps. Is that one of the things that you like doing? Is just knowing that you can do that to a team?
Yeah, just knowing I'll be able to take on 2, so my linebackers will be free to make tackles. That's what it matters at the end of the day. If I got to be if I got to hold 2 off just so they can make tackles, I'm gonna do it. Whatever I need to make this team successful.
How good can this defensive line be for you guys? You got to replace Matt, but you guys have yourself. Corey's coming back. Ben's coming back. How good do you think you guys can be up front this year?
I think we can be really good. Maybe even better than last year. Just all the extra work was put in this summer, this just passed, and going into camp, I think we can be something really special.
I saw this video the other day where you're working out with Footwork King or Fast 7, one of those guys tweeted it out.
Yeah.
I want to know, how fast is your 40 time right now?
We ran 40s not too long ago. It was a 4.9 something, but I stumbled. But
And how much you weighing right now?
I'm 329.
He's disappointed with the 4.9 at 320.
I lost some water weight.
A little bit. Stumbled this week still appreciate it.
You mentioned the linebackers, so a lot of what you guys do, y'all are waiting on the linebackers to make these calls. When you lose a guy like Traven Howard, who's been around a long time, have y'all had any, and be honest, y'all had any communication issues or anything like that, especially with new linebacker coach, right? Has there been any issues with getting the calls in and timing?
Oh no, just communication is key. Coaches emphasize communication real well on the field and off the field. Communication is key, letting the next guy know what's going on. Never leave somebody out to dry. So if I don't know what's going on, or they don't, somebody gonna say something. We're gonna be talking. Make sure everybody's on the same page.
Yelled at. So has there been any difference with Coach Glasgow going from safeties to linebackers and Coach Gonzalez going from corners to safeties, or do you even know? Are you just oblivious to all those guys and you're just gonna stay in the trenches and let them deal with it?
I'm gonna stay in the trenches. So I'm gonna let Coach Glasgow go. Whoever's coaching them, hey. But yeah, I'm gonna just stay in the box with the big guys.
Does he try to yell more, in your opinion, to try to keep up with Coach Patterson's yelling, or do you think he's truly a yeller?
Coach Glasgow? No, I think he was a born yeller.
Born yeller?
Yeah, he was yelling at the wound.
Perfect. Thanks.
You guys are a super talented group, obviously, but a pretty young group overall. So are you seeing yourself wanting to step up more into a leadership role? Do you feel like that's part of your duties, or are you kind of leaving that to the older guys?
I feel like that's part of my duties. I don't consider myself an old head, but I consider myself a leader. I try to lead the best way I can, verbally and on the field, of course. And this young team they're getting ready to go into this year, we have potential to be something really, really good. And I just continue to coach them on, not coach them, but just lead the best way I can.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you are. I think other than Ben, probably the only guy that started every game last year, right? And so you guys really do take up kind of the bulk of the experience and are doing some coaching on the field, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll try my best. I just want everybody to be successful.
And, one of the other things that a lot of people are talking about outside of the quarterback situation is the offensive line. And so you guys are preparing to go up against these guys for the next 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Do you look at that as part of your job, too, to help develop the other side of the ball? Yeah,
I do. It's a great – we lost a few guys to the NFL, but it's a great group of guys coming up. They're really, really talented, and I have no doubt in my mind that they'll be just as good or better than the guys that just left.
Now, people are sleeping on you a little bit outside of DFW. TCU's defense didn't get a lot of love in the preseason or anything like that, but this is a talented group. Do you feel a little bit of a chip on your shoulder? Are you out to prove some things this year? Or?
I think everybody's good. I'm not really worried. Well, we're not really worried about what everybody else is saying. We're just worried about Southern and just handling our business on the field. We'll let everybody else say what we are. It only matters what we are in July. Not July. I'm sorry, December. I'm thinking this camp starts tomorrow.
Awesome.